Om Bhurvubhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar, dear students, and good morning. Till now we have seen class 8 English, chapter number 4, Saving Chilika. Question A and B and C question answer in detail we have seen and we have discussed. Number 1 question answer in first video. In the video number 2 we are going to discuss today question number C answer in detail 2 to 6 and question number D and E will discuss. Let's begin, everybody. Question number 2. How did Nand Kishore try to persuade the dirty dozen to give up posing? What efforts he made to transform from poachers to protectors? Let's see the answer. Nand Kishore met the members of the dirty dozen who were led by a man named Madhu Bera. Madhu Bhatia, not Madhu Bera, and explained to them why they should stop poaching the birds. It's not good. It's illegal. He also reasoned with them that the forest officials were closely watching the lake because it was on the red list. The poachers, however, refused to listen to him and rudely asked him not to interfere with their livelihood. But Nand Kishore did not give up. He talked to the locals to get their support. These enraged poachers, and one night an armed Madhu Bera went to Nand Kishore's house and threatened him with dire consequences. Unafraid, Nand Kishore requested him to kill him if required, but to spare the birds, as they had nowhere to go. This moved Madhu Bera, and a week later the dirty dozen came back to tell Nand Kishore that they would never poach again and had thrown their weapons into the lake. So, this is how Nand Kishore tried to persuade the dirty dozen to give up poaching. If we have firm determination, if we have selfless motive, we can change anybody to the righteous path. So Nand Kishore was very pious and very careful about the nature, especially Chilika and birds. He was true lover of the nature, and he had no any self motive to do so. That's why he was successful. So dear students, we also try to be selfless whenever it is required. and we can also change others' life if it is required. Let's begin the question number 3. Give an instance of how the former poachers stood by their promise. Instance means example. Let's see the answer. When one of the members of the Dirty Dozen group broke the pledge to never poach birds, he was expelled from the group and handed over to the forest officials. This was a rule actually. Whoever breaks the rule of the pledge, he would be handed over to the forest officials. So this was how the Dirty Dozen stood by their promise. Alright, dear students. Question number 4. Why did Nandkishore decide to train Madhubera's team to become nature guides? How were they trained? 2 questions are there over here. Let's see one by one. Number 4. Nandkishore realized that the poachers had an extensive knowledge about the birds. They could identify the migratory birds that visited Chilika in winter. They could keep track of the time the birds started coming in, when they started going back, what they fed on, where they roosted, and every detail of the birds. So Nandkishore decided to train Madhubera's team to become nature guides. So Madhubera and team having vast knowledge. They were native dwellers. So they were knowing each and everything of the place. That's why Nandkishore decided to train them as a nature guide. Second question is there. How were they trained? Let's see the answer in the 4th number, second question. Nandkishore held workshops for the former poachers in order to train them to become nature guides. They were taught the English names of the birds and were also trained to improve their communication skills, both of which were necessary if they had to interact with tourists and nature lovers. It was required to learn actually for them. And Nandkishore knew how to train them, and he did it, everybody. Now we go forward. Question number 5. How did the Chilika Development Authority develop and support eco-tourism in Chilika? How it was developed? CDA, Chilika Development Authority. Let's see the answer. The Chilika Development Authority greatly helped to develop and support Nandkishore's ecotourism efforts. Whenever our motive is very clear, pious and selfless, nature also would help us. All the surrounding community also would be ready to help us. The Chilika Development Authority gave them land to set up an office and an interpretation center. They provided equipments like binoculars and tents. The Chilika Development Authority also opened up the mouth of the lake and restored the delicate balance of the water body. So, this institution had supported him for the welfare of the Chilika and the birds. Let's see the question number 6. What role did the former poachers play in the bringing ecotourism to Chilika? The poachers, answer, the poachers turned protectors, patrolled the waterways of Chilika. They took nature lovers around in their boats, as they knew where each species lived. They were having vast knowledge, as they were native dwellers. They provided food to visitors. They have taken care of the visitors. The ones with good communication skills became guides. So this way, former poachers played a very important role in bringing ecotourism to Chilika. Alright, dear students. So these are the questions answer of question number C, answer in detail. Let's see the question number D, think and answer. Elaborate on the change that Nandakishore brought about in the lives of the Dirty Dozen. Some lines would be the same, whatever we have given the answer of 4th and 5th. Let's see, everybody. How elaborate it has been that you want to write in detail. Let's see the answer. The lives of the Dirty Dozen changed completely because of Nandakishore. Nandakishore was the key person to change the wall scenario. The poachers became protectors of the birds in Chilika. With Nandakishore's training, they began to use their extensive knowledge of the birds in a positive way. And they were taught the English names of the birds and were also trained to improve their communication skills, both of which were necessary to interact with tourists. What both of? English names of the birds and communication skill. Both are required for tourism. So both of them were necessary to interact with tourists and nature lovers. In fact, the poachers turned protectors patrolled the waterways of Chilika. So from being destroyers of the environment, the Dirty Dozen group began to use their knowledge and skill to help Chilika thrive. Saving Chilika, they put their possible efforts, and actually they could do so. And we can say in saving Chilika, the pivotal role, the main role in bringing the Chilika lake, bringing out the Chilika lake from the degraded site is Nand Kishore. We can give the all credit to Nand Kishore over here. Alright, dear students. So till now we'll keep, and over here we have completed all the questions answered. And now see last question, know your values. In the text we see how Nand Kishore and his band of former poachers protect birds and improve the ecosystem of Chilika. Imagine this situation. Your class is on a picnic and you see some classmates littering, spoiling something, and will you ask them not to litter the place and also request to clean up? If they do not listen to you, will you do it or set an example? You do yourself, or will you let it be and expect someone else to clean up afterwards? Ask this question to yourself and give the answer orally. We need to take care of our immediate surroundings. By keeping our surroundings clean and disposing of waste correctly, we can protect our natural environment. For our dear students, it's our prime duty to clean our surroundings. With this, we'll complete our chapter number 4, video number 1 and 2, question answer discussion. And we'll meet soon in next video for chapter number 5. Till now, namaskar and have a good day.